I have people for that. You just.
Long story short,
Have your people talk to my
Yes.
long story short, guy in house, sister-in-law was staying the night with them.
He's already live. You gotta wait now.
Or this sister-in-law.
Vinny's just rambling.
Wait, you gotta tell them on the live.
Vinny's just rambling.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never
There's
rambled.
one key part that I needed to read specifically.
There's no
Okay,
key
we'll
part.
read faster.
Where's the key part? Wait, what is
I'm
the key
trying to find it.
Well, you're talking instead of reading.
You're
Start
the
reading.
one that hit the live button too soon.
Well, you were taking too long.
Do you want me to read it? Like,
Good
out loud?
morning. No, read it to yourself
I
so
am.
that you can
I'm
be
trying.
ready to
Stop
go whenever
talking
we
to
go
me.
live.
Stop talking to me.
Hey, Liz. Hey, Liz. Liz. Elizabeth. Lizzie Lou.
This actually helps.
Lizzie.
I hate you.
All right. Well, you know what? While you're getting
Why?
caught up
Look,
on the
this
world,
is what it is, Vincent.
while you're getting caught up in the world, I've meant to do this a couple of times before Christmas. I actually had one of y'all call me out, and I appreciate you calling me out. But we still are collecting canned goods, or any non-perishable food items for the Jefferson Barracks Food Pantry, Patriot Food Pantry. So anything that's non-perishable, you can bring in here. It can be bars of soap. That's a good one. Shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrushes, any kind of don't bring in anything expired. Let's go there. So we're always a collection point for them, not just during the holidays. Obviously during the holidays, the need is a little bit more. But you can always bring stuff in and drop off here. Tim, good morning. Any Mantis systems in stock? Let's see. We do typically have some Mantis stuff here. Looks like right now all we have is the Mantis Blackbeard. If you want the X10, we have a couple of, looks like just 380, the pink cartridges, the laser cartridges. Jeff Alley, good morning. So if you want like an X10 or something, it is something that we can always order. We usually have that stuff in here, but I guess we don't at the moment. All right.
That part I
Okay.
I just know it's a sister-in-law.
Somebody's
Man,
going to be mad.
This is they're arguing and yelling at each other over here. You're yelling at each other and like punching each other in the face.
Vinny used his girl voice.
That was kind of interesting. Man, I look weird in blue jeans. I'm off today. That's why I'm here in jeans. Sorry.
Surprise.
Yes. I'm actually on vacation even, and I'm still in here. Jan, good morning.
Good morning.
So, anyway. Did you guys have a good Christmas?
Yeah?
Okay, good.
Did you?
I did, yes.
You
'Cause
did?
It's over.
I was waiting for the
I
drop.
was
Shoot
waiting
a
for that
ball
one to
there.
come,
yes.
Wait, is it the shoot a drop? Yeah.
The shoe can't drop. You have to pick it up first.
Not
The
really.
shoe- the shoe's on the floor already.
What if you just...
What if it was on the shelf and I knocked it off like a cat?
That means you still picked it up.
Whoa.
And put it
What? Look at that. But you still
Would
picked
you
it
just?
up.
Would
which
you
is-
just look at it?
That was pretty impressive.
Did you look at it? That hurt my hips. I was watching it.
Anyway, somebody didn't have such a good Christmas, which is what we're going to talk about
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Today. Proper threat identification.
It's bad.
Do you have a responsibility to understand your threat?
100%.
I don't know why I started
Just dying.
What?
Instant dead.
just seeing Vinny's gold chain just reminded me of an old Italian joke of how do Italian men know where to stop shaving? Like, where the gold chain is. Obviously, Vinny doesn't shave, but it just
Obviously, but he doesn't.
Well, it's
it
funny, I do
just
get a
popped in
trim.
my head.
That's
Like
pretty funny.
that's like is
It's
that the
accurate.
definition of ADD? Like I'm saying words that have nothing to do with Vinny shaving his face, and it just pops in my head. I couldn't even help myself, and I
That
just started
happens.
laughing.
I mean, that was pretty funny.
I mean, my beard does
It's called being witty. What's the enigma?
Patrick, good morning.
What's the enigma selection looking like? Go back to vacation, Billy.
Yes,
Billy.
Patrick's my buddy. I've known Patrick a long time.
Hi, Patrick.
Um,
Bill, buddy.
my Phil buddy. The Enigma section is actually looking pretty good at the moment. So lots of expresses for PDPF, Hellcat, P320s, X Macros, Glock 19s, 43s, 48s, XL, and regular 365s. So, and then we have a couple of sport belts, I think, down there to make it, which makes them a little bit more comfortable. David, good morning. Dima, good morning. All right. Anyway,
Look at me like that.
now we're going back to the story.
Stare through your soul.
All right. So, proper threat identification. Come on in. We talk about this a lot in.
Did you say good morning to the other people's?
I did
Oh, okay.
when I was over there, and you guys were. I don't even know what you're doing. You're having like girl talk or something.
I was trying
over
to figure out how to mount that silly hook thing to my belt. The thing I asked you about earlier. The little.
Anyway,
Anyway.
somebody had a use of force incident in their house. Local. This was local, right? Or was it just on the local news?
Local-ish.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Where they shot their sister or sister-in-law on Christmas Eve, I believe.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Okay, so relatively local. So, do you need to know who you're shooting at?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you do. Okay. Go ahead.
So this morning when we were opening up, I walked around the back. You don't know this, but the hallway's dark when you walk back there. So as you're unlocking,
In the morning. Yeah.
in the morning, and John pops out of the side. He's like, "Good morning," and I was like, "Oh, hey." But you get the comment a lot, like, "Oh, I'm so glad you didn't shoot me." And I was like, "Give me a break."
Yeah, like give me some credit. I'm going to do my due diligence.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, and it's if you don't know, then you hear it all the time from people. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not gonna, or I don't want to piss you off, or I don't want to sneak up on you. It's like,
Every time.
okay, I make some good decisions
Yes.
most of the time.
You not
So,
really, but
Well, it depends.
with respect to use of force, sure.
But proper identification is important.
Yeah, I mean,
It's your
come on.
responsibility.
You can't just you can't just roll out of bed and start blasting.
It's like how hunters get like accidentally shot. It's like,
There's movement over there somewhere. I'm
why
just
would
going
you
to
just shoot him? I mean, most of the time it's a damn squirrel anyway, and then you just scared all the rest of them away. So I just don't understand how that happens, because you want to know what you're shooting at. It's such a big responsibility.
So you as a good guy have to own that responsibility. Something that I talk about with people a lot in use of force in their home. And if you hear that bump in the night, these little doodads here are awesome flashlights. You have a bunch of flashlights in the ceiling of your house that you can operate with a switch. Okay, turn your freaking lights on. All right. Now that might not have been something that could have been done in this news story that we were talking about. I don't know the exact details. I know that sister walked into brother's bedroom or something in the middle of the night.
Well, so they were over for Christmas, their family, and they were staying in their spare bedroom. And the story says that he shot his sister-in-law, but she was in their bedroom, in his bedroom. So like I got questions, but
Well, I mean,
still,
so-
you should still identify your
Yeah.
Still your responsibility.
Maybe she was sleepwalking.
Yeah,
My
or
aunt
maybe she
sleepwalks.
was trying to go to the bathroom and walked in the wrong room.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a
Story time.
yes, the Marine Corps days.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning.
I woke up to my roommate yelling and screaming at somebody who was in her room, urinating in her closet, because they thought they were walking into a bathroom.
Yeah. Alcohol is bad.
Yeah, that was bad. Anyway, so it could have been something
That's
like that.
super valid though, because especially around the holidays and you guys are all having eggnog. I had to throw away my eggnog. Oh, it's so tasty.
That's a
Why'd you
crime.
throw it away?
Because I'm turning over and
You could have brought it
going
to
back.
work.
It's not the first yet.
Oh, I
Anyway,
started yesterday.
back to what I was saying with turn on your lights. That's a huge advantage for you. The bad guy doesn't care about threat identification. The bad guy cares about not getting caught. So whoever comes wandering around the corner, or they see a shadowy figure down the hall, they can just start blasting. You don't have that luxury. right? Because you are bound by the confines of the law, and or you're going to be bound up by the confines of a jail cell. So you have to identify your threat before you can just start taking action. Okay. If there's something going on in your house, turn the lights on if you can. At the very least, have a freaking flashlight or a weapon-mounted light. I'm not the biggest advocate of weapon-mounted lights on concealed carry guns. I think they're okay. This is you still have to have one of these. In the context of use of force for a civilian, it's generally frowned upon to use the gun to identify the threat. So if that's what you're saying, like I didn't know it was a threat, so I drew my gun and then I turned my flashlight on, you're putting yourself in a bad position.
And I hope you have a lot of training with that flashlight, because if you're pointing a gun at it and you use the wrong lever, that's bad. So you're pointing a gun at everything you point your flashlight at. So keep a nice flashlight next to your bedside. I have my safe, I have my flashlight next to my phone and everything else. So.
And we're talking about this somewhat lightly, but it's obviously a serious thing. And this person, I'm assuming the person died. Again, I didn't read the story, but yeah,
that sucks.
That really does suck. I mean, you're assuming they're having a good time, having family over, sister stays the night and wanders into the wrong room, and you wake up and shoot and kill your sister on Christmas Eve. That's
sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law.
But still, think of how many lives you just changed.
Oh yeah.
Not just theirs, like if she had kids or her husband and your wife, if it was her sister or your brother or who,
your own.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Man, that's rough. So please take that seriously. Understand how to use this flashlight and a firearm. If you have a weapon-mounted light, understand how to use that with your gun. Turn the freaking lights on in your house. I don't think that it's typically, for most people, the best idea to go searching for the bad guy if you hear that bump in the night.
No.
Now, maybe you have to go from one room to another to get your kids or something like that. That, to me, makes total sense. But to go looking for the bad guy, screw that. Hunker down somewhere with all of your family so you know where everybody's at, and call the freaking cops. Get them coming.
Yeah.
Lou, good morning.
100% agree with you, Lou.
Yeah, weapon-mounted lights are not for general purpose use. Amazing how often I see people using them in that manner.
I know. A weapon-mounted light is not a flashlight.
No, it's
Correct.
a weapon light.
You don't use it as a flashlight.
Yeah.
But people do. You should not use it just as a flashlight.
That's a good point, Gordon. You don't need to point your gun-mounted light directly at a potential threat to see what it really is. You're getting close, though. But that's a good point.
True.
You definitely don't have to point right at them to use the...
Depends on the totality of the situation, all that sort of jazz. But still, if you're going to... I'm going to stop. I'm going to insult some people, but... No, I'm not. If you're going to trust people, and I'm not saying you specifically, Gordon. I'm just saying in the general populace, somebody to have a gun out and be able to operate themselves, that tool, the gun and the flashlight, all
In two
correctly.
different ways.
You're putting a lot of faith in people.
Yep. And that's really what it boils down to, is a lack of training.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. It boils down to a lack of training.
We talked a little bit about this morning, Ben. You talked about Coleon and him talking about the
Secret Service
guy.
Yep.
I've been in a cave, I guess. I didn't hear this or the story, but essentially this Secret Service guy missed
six shots at 5 yards.
5 yards.
That's
missed.
like missed completely.
Yeah. At 5 yards, with anybody with any sort of good muscle memory would.
It shouldn't have missed at all.
No.
So that's a lack of training. Right? And we think of the Secret Service as
The best.
high level, and that's not always the case, unfortunately. Janet, good morning.
Again, I agree with Lou.
Say it out loud.
So yeah, Lou, go ahead, Ben, read it.
The
Oh
cat
my gosh.
went to the park.
What the hell was that?
Freaking high five internet. Got her. Got her.
Lou says, even in a professional manner, using a handheld light is oftentimes more effective. Absolutely. It's so when I say for somebody at the professional level, law enforcement or whatever, you could be going into a situation where there is a known threat, right? So that weapon mounted light becomes hugely advantageous. To try to figure out if there's a threat, that's not necessarily the best way to do it, right? Again, if a law enforcement officer is called to a place, so you are going to this spot because there is a bad guy that's doing bad things, you know what you're walking into. If you're trying to decide if this person who's yelling at you from down the street, trying to get your attention, is going to mug you or ask you for directions, and you spin around and draw a gun to point a light at them to see what they're up to, that's a really bad choice.
Yep.
Okay, those are two totally different things, and I can 100% see that
Happening.
happen.
100%.
If there was somebody across the dark parking lot approaching me or trying to talk to me, I would 100 and bazillion% pull this guy out and just shine it at him like, hey, I don't need you to come any closer to me. I don't know you. It's a dark parking lot. And this would illuminate quite a bit for me to determine if they have something in their hands, if there's something on their waistband, if they're just going to keep walking towards me, what their body language is, all kinds of things. And I don't have to point a gun at them unless I have to.
Unless you have to.
And then I can do that.
And then if you have to and you have this thing in your hand, can you do that?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you know how to draw your gun one-handed?
Yep.
From concealment.
Yep.
That's
Oh, we got to do
Training.
coats. We got to do coats. Remember we were going to do that. I think it's supposed to, temperature's supposed to drop. So we
coats
should
and
do a
gloves and winter
drop from-
gear.
Oh, yeah. We'll do a video.
I'm going to go downstairs in a parka. And
What's a parka? I don't know.
It's a long coat,
Oh, okay.
I think.
I think.
And yeah, we're going to put big puffy gloves on, mittens, and draw guns.
Mittens?
Yeah.
Why the would you wear mittens?
I don't know. Because mittens are warmer than
How are
finger
you going to
gloves.
pull your trigger?
I don't. You can't.
That's why
With
you
my thumb. Did we
don't
talk
wear
about that this morning?
this
Thumbs.
You did.
Thumbs will do it.
It's the new
I
way
can do that.
of shooting,
I
right?
can
So
do
it'd be a
that.
mitten, and in this hand is like, brrrr.
It's true.
That's how it works. That's the way I'm going to do it. Man,
I can make
now
it
I
work.
kind of want to try.
I mean, I do that all the
I have to go
time.
buy some
Straight jacket.
Straight jacket.
I'll draw my gun
What are you
somehow.
not telling us?
I'll draw my gun somehow.
If you got one,
Figure it
Jan,
out.
bring it on up. Let's try it. Okay.
Went sideways.
Yes, that happens. Dennis, good morning,
Oh,
sir.
hello, Dennis.
Absolutely.
Thank
Because
you.
everybody could do it, Spitty.
Dang it, I don't know what else I was going to say.
Is there more to proper threat identification than just seeing in the dark?
To a degree, yes. Also, learning how to see fast.
Well, yeah,
Make decisions.
to make sure that it's actually a threat.
Yep.
Right?
Because the hallway wasn't dark. It was just a surprise.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a. So,
Oh, you're talking about for you this morning?
Mm-hmm. you know, there's more to identifying a threat than, you know, just because someone jumps out at you doesn't mean that they deserve a bullet. So you have to be mindful of making good decisions
Yeah.
and not just out of being startled. Because
The-
people play pranks all the time.
Yep.
It comes down to a lot of what we talk about on the lives a lot is just having a decision tree. You know, like having plans in your head. You certainly can't have every if-then solved.
Nope.
Right? But you can have a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a week or two ago about, you know, thinking about all the decisions you make as you come up to a yellow light, right? Like, is the person in front of me going to stop or are they going to go? Is there a cop in the intersection? Are there people getting ready to walk across the street? And all these things, you take in all these things and make a decision most people make a decision very quickly to decide, am I going to hit the gas or am I going to hit the brake? Right? You're taking in a ton of information, but it's only because you have these things planned out in your head. Like, hey, if there's not a cop sitting at the light to my left, I'm going to hit the gas. If there is a cop, I'm going to hit the brake. That's okay.
I didn't do nothing.
I drive a big orange truck. Like I ain't hiding from nobody.
Every time I drive through Maplewood, I'm like, where are you at? I'm kidding.
So, and that's what it comes down to is having a lot of if-thens already planned out in your head. It makes decision making easier rather than having to make all those little decisions. You can just grab that group of decisions and say, "This is what I'm going to apply right now."
So, since we bought the Subaru, it's a manual transmission, and my 14-year-old, oh my god, he's almost 15, is wanting to practice shifting from the passenger seat. So I usually let him, and it's quite nice. I can just hold my coffee and drive. But when he first started doing it, he could not hold a conversation while he was doing it because he was thinking about it so much.
Hard, yeah.
And there's so much thought to it. Now he's practiced it quite a bit, and now he can hold a conversation while he's doing it, and it's pretty cool to see that. But it brings you back down to the beginning of doing something and a skill. If you think that you're going to be able to operate your tools, or make good decisions in an encounter like that, if you probably don't get much practice with being in deadly encounters. So as much mental preparation as you can do ahead of time is going to greatly increase your ability to think through dynamic encounters like that, for sure.
Well, we saw it in the Lady Sentinel match a couple weeks ago, right? You even pointed it out that after several of these ladies had taken classes and private lessons and all this stuff, and know how to hold a gun and
My dad,
Hi.
he likes to tell everybody else good morning, but
it
me.
never tells me.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
We're friends.
He called me Vinny one time. But anyway, that we saw the basic grip and sight alignment, that sort of stuff just fall apart
Sure,
because there's a little bit of stress, and you go into this very primal portion of your brain and just you get into big movements like gun, hand, push, pull, and that's it. And you forget about all these. I don't know if I should say forget, but because you haven't practiced it enough, when you get into that primal portion of your brain, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't happen. You even though and you'll see. It's so cool to see people like almost shake themselves out of it. Just have this really terrible grip, and they'll shoot and they'll move and they'll get set up, and now all of a sudden they feel a little bit more relaxed.
Yep.
And you'll see like whoop, you'll see the grip change and
The shoulders relax.
Yeah, that's cool. But you need to be able to make that happen right from the get-go.
Stop crying.
No.
You spelled your name.
I'm crying. I want to.
Spelled your name right though. He doesn't spell my name right. Jiu-jitsu is like this too. Whenever when you roll with a white belt, like the very brand new people, your coaches and professors say to treat it like a fight because they're just reacting. They're like crazy. It's a little bit more dangerous. So
we always say that's the most dangerous person in the room is the white
new
belt.
white belt.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
And they react. It's just it's a fight, and you don't have the ability to think through it yet. It takes a while to get
It's
there
such a cool and calming feeling when you can
Yeah.
when you can, as it relates to jiu-jitsu, you could be in a relatively bad position but have an opportunity to think through. These are my options that I can try to do. You're not trying to problem solve and figure everything, each little step out. You're just trying to problem solve by figuring out what chunk of information you should try to apply. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That was weird.
You're welcome.
What else you got? Anything else? Vincent?
My lord. Almost got it.
No, that was like the one for the whole day. It's always a win if they can get me to snort. Come on.
I don't know why saying that on the internet just bothers me. I'm bothered. I'm never bothered.
All right.
I'm bothered.
If you guys need something, come see us, 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin's. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out with this or that?
This or that. Big one and thing two.
If you got a new a gift for Christmas, or maybe somebody was smart and got you a gift card and you need to come in and figure out what you want to buy or whatever, and you need to get in a private lesson, we've got plenty of those available, and that's really a great way to do it. We do have limited hours tomorrow. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve? Yes, tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
4.
So we close at 4 tomorrow. Normal hours the rest of the week. So typically 10 to 8 Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. Again, tomorrow we do close at 4, open at normal time, 10 o'clock, but we close early at 4 p.m. So get out here early, shoot your guns, buy new stuff, whatever.
Like a flashlight.
And yeah,
Get
that
a flashlight.
Get a flashlight.
Oh,
Yes.
my dad wants to know about trading in a handgun.
About trading
trading.
in? Yeah, absolutely. We take used guns. I have no idea what our used inventory looks like right now. I know that it was hurting
good right now.
good.
It's hurting right now.
Is it hurting?
It's hurting.
So yeah, it's always an option to bring stuff in. It doesn't cost you anything for us to take a look at it. If you got stuff sitting in your safe that you don't use, bring it in. If you don't like the offer we give you, no big deal, right? It's no problem. So yeah, absolutely, bring it in. We'll take a look at it.
And do all the paperwork because that's the pain in the butt
Yeah,
part.
it's
You private
we
sale
make
it.
make it way easy.
Yeah. To make room for more guns,
Yes,
David.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or ammo.
I had this discussion with my brother at Christmas. That he's like, I have got some old stuff sitting around that I just don't use. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I did it. I cleaned out some of my stuff, and it was. I had never sold a gun up until here recently. It was not an easy thing to do, and then I'm like, why does it matter? I've got this crap sitting around here, and some of it wasn't really crap. It's just not my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, I had a nice M&P 2.0, good gun, nothing wrong with it, but I never shot it. I just wasn't my thing, so I got rid of it. Bought something else that I do like to shoot.
I need to do that. I need to go through. I'll have to battle my husband over it.
It's not easy to get rid of that stuff for sure.
No.
What do we have going on this week for classes? I think
We got defensive one on Thursday,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm teaching that one. So if you're in that one, it'll be the best class for sure.
Debatable.
Crickets.
Crickets. The internet didn't say anything.
No, Phil does teach a good defensive one. And intermediate on Friday.
Intermittent pistol. Sometimes you shoot pistols.
Intermittent.
Then we got CCW basic and another basic on Saturday.
Yeah, I think all of Saturday's classes are sold out.
Sold out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. I know my defensive one's sold out. Anyway, we got all sorts of cool stuff coming up. If you guys need to get in a class, our classes sell out pretty quick. So get signed up, come out, hang out with us, have some fun. If you guys need something, come see us. You guys stay safe, be nice to one another, and we'll catch you soon. Later.
I'm gonna do a different awkward pause.
Well, this
I
is a
can't.
long
I
pause.
can't throw up gang
This is a
signs.
super
Why?
long pause.
Hold on.
This is
Well, I'm not very good at this.